And speaking of my last video about Dow Jones ending down, even though it went a lot, still in the red. Again, this is based off of Trump. He's going to get his $1 trillion spending bill. They're going to raise the debt ceiling. Obamacare repeal and replace. And we're getting stop, 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 stop. The club is stopping at every moment they can get, throwing a monkey wrench in his plans no matter what. Like I said, we haven't even gotten past repeal and replace yet. We still have the debt ceiling fight. I mean, they're backlogged. And I keep thinking they may not pass this debt ceiling this time because they want to make him look bad. And they'll say, well, he wouldn't agree with us and you'll never vote for him a second term. However, if they don't raise the debt ceiling, we've got 4 years in the presidential term where they're going to fight. Everything in my body tells me they're going to absolutely raise it one way or the other. Because those congressmen and women, senators, their butts on the line too. Because we could yell at them. Just work with the damn president. You got to raise the debt ceiling. That's what you guys have done for everybody else. You can't do it, not do it now. You just have to do this. Or you're going to be pissed off, right? You're going to be telling them I'm not going to vote you in next voting season. Next circus, Cirque du Soleil comes back to town. I have to vote again. Vote for, worse or worser. Speaking of, stocks and that crap, once again, the IPO of Snapchat stock. Not looking real healthy. Not looking healthy. Snapchat snags its first buy rating, says CNBC. Let me get in here. Buy. CNBC said so. Whoa. No. Well, Snap stocks surge after analyst buy note. Fortune.com. Buy. Oh yeah. This is nonsense. I already told you what was nonsense. But Silicon Valley as a whole, let's kind of look at that. Nice article from Zero Hedge, authored by Mark St. Cyr or Sear. Anyways, as we sit here today, the IPO that was supposed to prove that the dream of it's different this time, we're still alive and well, has shown it is anything but. The real crush for the crushing it crowd is this. The reality that proves that the party is over came from both a business and service whose main product did nothing more than augment reality as to add cartoon features to pictures, then disappear into the ether. And this, you were told, was why it should be worth tens of billions of dollars in market cap. Again, are we insane? What in the hell kind of world are we living in right now? $6 billion, I think it was said it was worth at first. Little chat app on your phone where you basically, when you chat, it's more or less you send a picture to your group, your buddies, with little text and stuff, and then it disappears. Oh, brilliant. I mean, the guys behind this idea, this app, these guys, they could probably fix all the problems in the world. They could feed the hungry. They could give them clothing, house, electricity, bring them up into the, new age. Modern technology, modern age. Third world status. Oh, you're coming to first world. We're going to take care of you guys. If you can create an app where you can send someone a picture with crap text on it and then it disappears, oh, man. Listen, you've got it going on. You are that dude. As insane as that was, what became all too surreal was when this concept was applied to its S1, where the reality of its business plan appeared to be nothing more than a pig in lipstick matching its core product features. And the Valley, along with the entire tech world in general, not only believed it, but argued that this business was worth those tens of billions of dollars, even though the company itself stated in its own business plan that it was that not only was it not profitable, it may never be profitable. That's all right. Still worth $35 billion. Absolutely. Again, if you can make a picture disappear with some words on it a few moments later after sending it, you are brilliant. You are Einsteinian. Okay? Sounds logical only if you live in an augmented business view of the valley. To the rest of us in the business world, it's crazy talk, plain and simple. It's not just crazy talk, it's insanity. That's what that is. It's freaking insanity. The compounding issue that Snapchat is generating, for it's not reserved solely within the virtual world, is the near laughing stock faces that appear to be growing across one of the most least informed investor public of this era. The hordes of millennials who lined up to be first, much like they used to be for an iPhone release. Remember those? You know, well, iPhone 8, iPhone 9, iPhone 70. Oh my God, get one $900. $900 for a damn cell phone? No, I mean, really? Like super serial? No. My goodness. And bought the shares as soon as they became available to the public at $24. And the higher it went, the more they bought. And the better they felt. If you want to view paradise, simply buy a Snapchat stock. Then, as soon as it begun, it was over. Oh, cue the next sign. Cheer up, Charlie. Cheer up, millennial. To truly understand just how quickly this entire debacle in the making has fallen, let me express it this way. Since going public on Thursday, March 2nd, its shares had risen some 44% from its IPO price of $17 to its opening exchange price of $24, to then zoom to near $30. This was greeted with exuberance and cheer, not only for those who got in line to be first, but was also used by much of the tech press to show just how worth it this debut and idea was. Yet it didn't stop there. If you turned on your financial business media program of choice, the results were the same. The accolades coming from the tech side reporting was filled with both sighs of relief and little smugness of, see, those naysayers don't get to tech or social. This proves the IPO market is alive and well. And did I not just read you 4 hours ago, Snapchat stock surges after analyst says buy note. Marketers have three big problems with Snapchat. That's the Motley Fool. Might be the only one saying of them. Snapchat snags its first buy rating. Shares rise. CNBC 6 hours ago. Business Insider. Snap stock initiated with buy rating at Monis. Business Insider. Snapchat price surges above $20 after receiving first Wall Street. Oh yeah. Pull those suckers back in, baby. It's the name of the game. Because you can't make $1 unless someone else loses $1. Let's bring them all in. Come back the truck up, millennials. Keep coming. Push it back up, and then I'll flood the market and sell off all mine. It'll go back down again. I'll buy in again. Let the market rise again. Come on, I'll pump the news. Get all the news out there. Buy signal. Oh, my God, millennial part 3. And then we'll flood the market and sell again, cleaning out the sheeple. Rinse and repeat. That was as Friday, March. Yes, see those naysayers just don't get tech or social. This proves the IPO market is alive and well. That was as of Friday, March 3rd, the day after the IPO's debut. Then came Monday, and let's just say it was different this time. By Monday, the reporting went from, shall we say, exuberance mode to justification mode, i.e., don't panic yet. If you once again pursued not just the broadcast media, but also the printed or online, the commentary was the same. It's still up 44% from its IPO price. Well, yes, that was true, yet that was far from accurate to explain what was taking place. A much better description of what was playing out would be something along these lines. Initial investors purchasing shares of Snapchat as it became a public company via the exchange profits now match the company's core product, e.g. poof, they're gone. And it's appearing to get worse. Much worse. That's a very accurate statement. By Tuesday, anyone who had purchased at the opening bid of $24 would now not only have had any potential profit sent to the ether, everyone, and yes, everyone who stood in line to be first, on either Tuesday or Friday just 4 days prior was now losing money on their core investment dollars. And like I said, it was only Monday. By Friday of the same week, the meme of still up 44% from its IPO price of $17 had fallen silent. And that now has been halved. And yes, it still gets worse. Over the next 5 trading days, once again, IPO to prove to the world that not only unicorns were great, but decacorns were just as fantastic powerhouses of business, began morphing into a creature that far too many dreamed themselves could do. It became a teenager. In other words, its share price now began using numbers that began with teen, as in 19, then 18, and its share price continued falling until finally ending the week solidly far, far beneath its triumphant $24 close, only $24-ish close only 5 trading days prior, as they say in the investing world, remaining a teenager, closing at $19 and change. The issue is that the process has one key attribute. It's the same pattern we've seen before, but now it's represented in days. And to wit, Twitter, $72, boom, down to the 20s and the teens. TWLO, what is TWLO? Twitter? No, that was Twitter. The first one was Twitter. I don't know what TWLO is. $67, almost 70, down to 31. Snapchat, high 29, down to 1954. Except this was in a matter of days. The other two I just read you took months. Matter of fact, Twitter took 2 years. Anyways, from IPO to today, what had once taken well over a year has morphed from months to now days. Back in 2013, I argued that the meme of "it's different this time" and more had taken over all sense of reality within the valley, i.e. tech in general. And once the effects produced via the Fed's ending of quantitative easing were in full force, the resulting backlash would become prominent for those willing to look. And I pointed to the current songbird of all that was the valley, Twitter, as the canary in the coal mine one needed to watch diligently. The above shows the results of the warning in all too glaring detail. I made a few more observations as well as warnings, both before as well as during, that are germane for further context. From September of 2014, the shot heard around the valley world, and what he said then was, once the Fed shuts down the section of quantitative easing that has been pumping billions upon billions of dollars every month, it's over for a great many of today's Wall Street darlings. Think of it this way. Who is going to fund your next round when they no longer have access to the Fed's piggy bank, let alone pump more money into older startups that just haven't produced any real money, as in net profit, but have produced nothing more than great new employee digs or benefits? Tack alongside the culture shock in what will seem near instantaneous with the shunning that will take place of any business resembling the 3-employee, menial customer base, 0 if not negative profit margin businesses formed with the implicit intent as to be bought up or acquired for billion-dollar paydays. These will be the first to go. That formulation is going way of the now infamous Pets.com sock puppet. This will be the first true shock to Silicon Valley culture that hasn't been seen in many years, and it will be far from the only one. That was in 2014, and the reaction to such hearsay was like showing the cross to a vampire. Or said differently, I was not going to be on any list to speak at any of the hipster-inspired tech conferences. And the issue is precisely what happened, and the great IPO drought began in earnest to the dismay of the entire tech vis-a-vis the Valley complex. Another was made a year later in the article, Crying Towels, Silicon Valley's next big investment op. And again, to wit, Twitter is, again in my opinion, a real-time microcosm of what's about to hit the whole valley, i.e. a real shitestorm. And here's my reasoning. There are 2 issues that are very different for both a company as well as the narrative of a whole industry supported by the wings of such a canary. And both of these go a little more than unrealized by those not familiar with them, for it hits right at the heart of how a meme or a presumptive "it's different here" attitude takes hold when true business principles, disciplines, and more get lost on those desperate to not see their worldview crushed. But business in its purest form has a way of doing just that, crushing naive or wishful assumptions, or, I'll add one, those who continue to smoke hopium. The idea of publicly arguing the above was met with derision and scorn by many across the mainstream financial business media, along with those emanating via the tech press with its own cadre of talking head valley aficionados. The issue that many were trying to uphold and pleading for revolved around the argument that it's hard to tell when you're in a bubble when you are in one. It's hard to tell when you are in a bubble when you're in one. And followed up that with, and we don't believe we're in one. I took and argued the direct opposite view, and here's how I describe it. No, it's easy to spot when you're in a bubble. The requisite for that spotting is the willingness to actually look. For when fundamental business reasoning are not only circumvented with fairy tale logic, but the argument for even greater tales are needed ever the more, it's a bubble. The real question after the realization is this. Do you have the wherewithal to overcome the FOMO, fear of missing out, urges that will surely end in tears as the bubble may inflate further? For the argument has moved from anything resembling business directly to psychological arguments only. Okay, that's an interesting word. Where emotions are the rule, not the fundamental rules of business. And the resulting frenzy can last far longer than anyone can contemplate, for you've moved from fundamental reasoning to pure psychological, emotional groupthink. The compounding issue is this. Those who believe they can get out when needed beforehand fail to realize it's that same thinking, an emotional one, that will keep them in, rather than get them out in time. There's a reason the term ride the tiger persists to this day. Getting on its back to begin with has proven over the centuries to be precisely the wrong move. To paraphrase phrase from the movie War Games, sometimes the winning strategy is not to play. That was a good movie. I'm not. Greetings, Professor. Shall we play a game? How about Connect 4? Or, how about global thermonuclear war? Okay. That sounds like a funner game than, Connect 4 or Tic-Tac-Toe. Anyways, war games. Sometimes the only strategy is not to play. Even if not playing makes you appear and scorned as the one who doesn't get tech. On a side note, people forget the public scorn via the investing class for Warren Buffett's refusal to invest in the tech space during the late 1990s when fortunes were being made overnight, then to be declared an investing genius by the same cadre when he had no direct exposure to the following dot-com crash. Today, one can clearly see the bubble has indeed popped. This issue for the currently blindsided is that they were, and some still are, clinging far too fiercely to their fairy tales of IPO stock option riches than a child still waiting to believe in Santa Claus. Snapchat's IPO perfectly fits that analogy. The only current unknown was the coal that was left behind, or what was that coal that was left behind, or something else, like a stinking pile of... So, I'm curious, where Twitter stock price? Where's Twitter at these days? $15. So the chart he showed was when it was down to, well, actually, yeah, it hit down to 15 on this actual chart too. That's where we are today. It had a dead cat bounce, and looks like mid 2016, up to $24. Oh, never mind, back down. And again, the chart is showing not only just down a little bit, but the chart, if I'm to look at a trend, it's saying super, super steep decline. Twitter, Snap, it's, again, nonsense. Tech stocks. I mean, again, you get a freaking app where you can put a picture, put some stupid text or nonsense on there, send it away, your people get it, oh, cool, and then it disappears. Magic. Remember I said the other day, remember the old cartoon Inspector Gadget? And the guy would always send a thing that would self-destruct. This message will self-destruct. All right, I'm on it. He'd throw it away in the trash can where his boss was, and he'd blow the trash can up every time. That's what these damn things are. This tweet or Snapchat will self-destruct in 30 seconds. And don't tell anybody, but I think their stock's going to as well. Maybe not in 30 seconds, maybe more like 30 days. Again, it took Twitter years, a couple years to do that. And then the other one, it took many, many, many months. We're talking a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks. If that is, yeah, it's been about 2 weeks. And it's already going the same way. Millennials, step right up. There's a sucker born every minute, and you guys fit the bill for some reason on this one. Take care.